Okay. But I think we're ready to go.
I think we're ready. First of all, those of you that have laptops in person and on Zoom, you should have gotten a link to reset your password if you have never been into back office. So if you want to follow along live on your computers, run to your email, click on that link, get into back office. Otherwise, you can just watch along. So I'll give you like half a second because we're so behind. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is creating a listing. So back office is kind of, well, it's kind of your new SkySlope. What do you need?
I was looking for the pointer and I'll point.
Oh,
Is that it?
I don't know. We're asking for trouble here with more technology. All right, so it's your file management system. If you use Bold Trail for your CRM, your contacts, as soon as you start a transaction, will just auto-populate, and you can also start a transaction on your Bold Trail CRM site. But we're going to do back office. So we're going to pretend like you guys are all logged into back office. We're going to go, yes. Oh, yeah, it's mybrokerment.com. My.brokerment.com. Thanks, Kim. Yeah, you guys should have all received an email to get in. Yeah, Kim? You can.
The question was, can you get to it from Bull Trail? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
So if you're
No.
logged,
I'll walk over there.
I just don't want to navigate away from the screen because
Yeah, we're out. Yeah, there was an email that was announced.
and just hold Jessica, hold on for the mic. Just so you guys know, we have multiple days in June for training. There's gonna be online training on Zoom, and then also the last week's gonna be in person, hands-on. So some of those things that you run into that are quirky that you need help with, plug into those. Okay, so we've got the whole month is dedicated to us learning this. Yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday. Every Tuesday and Thursday, but almost.
Yeah, we've also done pre-recorded trainings too that you guys will have access to. Okay, so this is this.
Okay, I think step one, really quick for Nate, hold on 2 seconds. So I think step one for everyone, if you guys can just log into your email and just check it for a welcome email from Bold Trail. It came to you first thing this morning, probably within the last couple of hours. Yes, Jessica. Then you might want to try your Gmail. As a matter of fact, it will not be your remax.net. We were not able to put you in that way originally. So it's probably whatever Gmail or AOL or I'm dating myself, whatever email we have as your forward ISP. I'm sorry. Yes, I will have her check right now. Janice, if you're listening, can you please check on Jessica Lon's login, please?
All right, let's let Danielle go.
Yeah, we're going to be here all day. Okay, so when you log in, you will come to this screen. You've got your dashboard. We've got some links on there for you guys. We're going to be putting more up. You've got your pipeline where you can look at your production. How many things do you have in opportunities, which is like your pre-contract, your buyer broker agreement. How many active listings do you have? How many pendings? How many closings do you have this month? So this is really good helping you budget. And then it'll show how many deals you have going forward. But at any rate, what I want to concentrate on is transactions, is getting your listings, your pre-contracts, your sales in there. The thing that differs between SkySlope and back office is back office considers everything a transaction. The vernacular is a little bit different. When we're in SkySlope, we're used to a listing being called a listing, right? And then when you represent a buyer or you get an accepted offer on your listing, then it becomes a transaction. In back office, everything is a transaction. So you're going to go to create transaction. If you have already put your listing on MLS, you can choose this search MLS feature. You would type in your MLS number and the basic information from the property will auto-populate from MLS. We're gonna just do create new. And for a listing, the type is always gonna be, what type of listing is it? Is it a residential listing? Is it a vacant land and lot listing? Roberta, you might have a commercial listing, but at any rate, it's just what type of listing are you doing? So we're gonna do a residential listing. The status is always gonna be active, and you are always gonna be representing the seller. If you don't get those first 3 steps correct, you won't have the correct fields and you won't have the correct checklist. You know how sometimes in SkySlope, you accidentally pick the wrong checklist and then we're like, oh, we got to change it. You got to upload all your docs again. Kind of the same thing. You want to make sure that you do those first 3 steps correctly, and that will automatically generate the correct checklist. Okay, so we'll put in our address, 123 West, Main Street. And then again, if you use that search MLS feature, this would come up. Let's do $500,000. Red is required. So see how it says additional fields and it's red? That means that there's something down here that's required. The property type, it's pretty basic. It's either going to be residential, residential lease, residential land, and so on. It's very simple. The list date, let's do today, and expiration date. Okay, then we're going to click on next. Okay, in this top box is the commission that you're charging for your listing. Let's say you're charging 3%. Whoops, not going to let me. Hang on. Okay. This next box, if you are a single agent, it's only you on the listing, you want to do 3% again. If you're a team, you would break that out like 1.5 and 1.5. You do have to add yourself, which is a little different, but you have to add yourself. Whoops, hang on. And then if you had a team member, you would add them second. Then you go to next. Seller. Okay, give me a celebrity couple that you want to list your house. I can't use any, that's why I'm asking for a celebrity couple. I don't want to use any existing contacts. There you go. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, who is he married to? All right. So we're going to create new because Brad Pitt is not in our system and he is not in our CRM. All right. You always want to make sure that your buyers and sellers are available to me only private. That means that that contact information, you are the only person that will see that. You don't want to make it available to everyone because then the whole company has access to your buyers and sellers. So we just want to make that private. So Brad Pitt is private. We would fill in any information that we wanted, any contact information that we wanted for him. Email is super important because through back office, you can email out all of your documents. You can email out your listing package, your purchase contract package, whatever you're doing. So you always want to make sure that you at least have their email and then you could put in whatever else you want. Lead source, let's say I got Brad Pitt in an open house. Wouldn't that be nice? And then I'm going to click on create. If you have 2 sellers, you would repeat the process with the second add contact option, but he's single right now, so he's the only one. We're going to click on next. You can skip that list date. It's not red. Then we're going to create the listing. Hello. Create the listing. Create. Okay, Kim, it's not letting me. Well, you don't have to because it's not red, but it's just not letting me click on create. I know. Okay, there it goes. All right. So now you have the basic information for your listing, and this is your checklist on the left. The checklist works similarly to SkySlope, but we have put these documents packet in each kind of checklist. This has all the documents that we think that you'll need to do your listing. And of course, it's not letting me click on it. There it goes. So we've preloaded all the documents that we think you will need. You have the ability to click on this X and take any out. You're like, yeah, I don't need a wire fraud or whatever it is. Yeah, I know, I'm just giving you an example. You have the ability to click on more forms, and that will connect you to the library. The first time that you're at this step, this is when you will connect your NERDS ID. So it will ask you to connect your NERDS ID. You do need to have that handy, and then it will send you a confirmation email. You click on that confirmation email, then you can come back into back office and you can access the forms. So I've already done that, so I'm already connected to the forms, but that's what you have to do your first time. And then you have the company library, AAR. If you're watching from Tucson, your Tucson's in there. See, I have not connected my Tucson NERDS ID because I don't have one for Tucson. So anyway, but this is what it would look like. You would enter your NERDS ID, you would click on submit, and then it sends you an email. So at any rate, the company library, AAR, all the libraries you would possibly need for your forms. You can use this search bar to search for a form that you need, but that search bar is only valid for the particular library that you have clicked in. So you still kind of know what you need to know, what platform houses the form that you need. All right, so let's just say, let's just say I don't need an HOA, and I'm just doing this as an example, and I don't need an ABA. I'm just trying to shorten this for the purposes of illustration. Okay, then we click on next. Then you can take out any signers. This is, you're generating your documents to send to your seller. You can take out any signers that you don't need. You could add, if you needed to add some other party, you could add them. And then you click on next. Whoops. And you click on next. All right, this is preparing your documents. Your documents we have mapped out to the best of our ability, but you still need to go through these really, really carefully. And okay, so like right here, for some reason, the signature did not map on the wire fraud, but it's super easy. You just go up to signature. You can add a signature right there. And I want to make that my seller's signature. Except for I did it on the wrong line. You would want to do it right there. Okay. And so on. So you, at the top, you can add text, you can add money, you can add a checkbox, you can add a signature, you could add initials, you can add date and time. The date and time, when you add it, is going to show today's date, but when your client actually signs it, it will show the date that your client signs. So you want to go through all your forms really carefully, fill them out. I'm stuck, but at any rate, you would fill them out. And then you have some options. You can click on save and close. Let's say you need to go off to something else. You're going to come back to it later. You can click on send for e-sign. You can download it if you just want to download it to your computer. You could print it if you need to go get wet signatures. So that's how you send your documents off to your client. You will get email notification when they receive them. You will get an email notification when one party signs, when the next party signs. So it does keep you updated on all of that. When they send that back to you, you would just come back to your checklist and upload the documents. Let's say you have, sometimes you guys put more than one document into a single placeholder in SkySlope. SkySlope allows you to do that. Back office, you have to do it a little bit differently. You have to come to Documents, Unsorted. You would add each document one at a time. And I had sample documents on my computer, but my computer wouldn't work, so I can't fully show you. But you would add your documents one at a time. And then in the right, there would be an edit button. I don't want to add documents from Kim's computer because I don't know what she has on there. But at any rate, you go to the little edit button on the right. You would click merge with, and you could merge any documents that you put here together into one. And then you can go on the paperclip symbol that's going to be there and you assign it to your checklist.
So for agents that maybe are using transaction desk and haven't got there, but they need to upload their documents, this is where they would do it,
That's
correct?
where they do it. You can handle your documents any way you want, any platform you want. This is just where the checklist is where you would come to upload them. And I'm just showing you right now, if you want to merge several documents into one placeholder, how you would do it. And then you would click on the paperclip symbol, and that would assign it to the placeholder in your checklist. If there's a document that you need to upload that is not on our list, you go to Actions, Add Task. Let's say, I don't know, home inspection. Add in a home inspection, you could take out the deadline. And you want to assign it to yourself. And then you want to check this little box, requires a document to be attached. Okay, it's not letting me, hang on. And save it, and then that's going to give you the little upload button to the right that you can now upload your document for the home inspection, for an example. There is not an upload button next to documents that are not required. So this back office checklist was designed as like a task list. And as you submit things, see how the listing document packet is crossed off? That's because I've already sent it to my seller. As you submit things, you're checking things off your list. So if things that are not required as far as the brokerage goes, but that you still want to upload, you just have to go up here, go to action. No, I'm sorry, back up. Spuds. Spuds is not required for a listing, but it's helpful. I want to edit the task. I want to check this box, save it. Now that gives me this upload button, and I could click on that and I could upload my spuds. The other reason why we don't have an upload button for documents that are not required is because if that did not pertain to your listing, it would show red and overdue. You do have due dates. You had due dates in SkySlope. You just might not have known it. It didn't show. Like the brokerage requires that you turn in all your documentation within 5 business days, I think, of signing, right? So the due dates are built into back office, and if you are overdue, it's up at the top and it would be red in your checklist that you are overdue. So at any rate, a couple of reasons why there is no upload button to documents that are not required, but it's super easy to make that button. You just click on edit task and mark the little box. Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, Lynette.
Two questions.
Yes.
One, I was just informed by Stephanie that there's a separate folder for Avondale agents. Do you know where that would be at?
You only have the ability to be in the Avondale office because you are in an Avondale.
I know, but when she went to upload documents,
She
she
already
couldn't.
solved it. I already told her.
I'm asking, so when I get in there, I don't have to find a different tab. It automatically knows how to do that.
You
Okay.
can only access your office, which is Avondale.
Okay. Two, when can we start using the signature platform? The reason I'm asking is because for those of us that signed up with DigiSign, we have to renew. So trying to figure out if we can use this immediately or if we have to wait till the end of the month when it's live.
Yes.
I have two questions. I have two questions as well. Can you set up templates and can you add clauses?
Okay, so they are working on templates. Templates is not rolled out yet. What I recommend is you have a Word document that you have all your clauses, all your standard verbiage that you always put in a listing or that you always put in a purchase contract, whatever, and copy and paste that over to the forms. So I know.
I think as far as templates, like for your title company and stuff, is that what you're thinking? Well, not clauses, but filling in, like, we used to make a template with everything filled in. So you could, it has a pull down menu when you set up the file, and you can put your title company and it automatically pulls it in. So it just works a little bit different than templates that we did before. Well, like when there's a menu when you put in the seller's name or there's a button called contract. He's probably going to get to in a little while.
Yeah.
When you offers, you go to offers, you get an offer, you can hit the button title company, put your favorite title company in there, and then they will be put into your purchase contract. One more.
Couple of questions also, with the MLS function, is that recommended for current MLS information or just general MLS to bring over the address and all that?
So that would be if you have already entered your listing into MLS.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
You could either type the address or the MLS number of your listing.
Thank you. Then the second question, you're probably going to get to it, but since I have the mic, would there be an option for SPUDs electronically completing like we do in SkySlope and for lead-based paint?
Okay, Spuds is actually when you use Breeze, that is an AAR approved vendor. So we all have Breeze as well. It's just through the AAR. So you just log on to Breeze as you normally would.
So Breeze is going to be still available?
Breeze is
Yes.
still available, and Breeze is the only other AAR approved platform, and that's through AAR. That doesn't have anything to do with anything
Well,
wrong with back
I
office.
access it through SkySlope. So is that going to be a separate login then? Something? Because that's how I get to it through SkySlope.
You get to it through your AAR login, I believe, don't you?
Yeah, and I think we could put your AAR login on the dashboard. We can just go straight there.
Okay, because that's amazing tool. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
any other
Yeah.
questions in the room?
Christine was really worried about losing Breeze because
Yeah.
we've become very familiar with it, but we still get to use it.
And then, so Cindy has one more question. Should we address some questions on Zoom?
Yeah.
Because we've got quite a few in the chat box. So
I cannot see the sheet.
Yeah, I'll
that's
take
okay.
care of that.
Nate's got it.
I don't have my glasses. Either.
So,
You want me to help?
do I have the conch?
We'll get back to that.
Go, Cindy. Yep.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I understood the question and the answer to that. So it sounds to me like the SPUDS is not part of our checklist and we're gonna have to get it from a different place called Breeze, which
But
I've never heard of that.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me explain that. You can get it from this system, it's there. But Breeze has been a software that's been around about 6 months to a year where it sends it out to the client and the client can fill out everything by typing instead of writing old
Right,
school.
okay,
Right.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So it is available from this checklist?
Yes, it
Yes.
is. It's just that it's not fillable, like your client would have to handwrite it. So, yeah. And that's just a AAR policy. So, yeah. Yep. Okay.
So
Green.
Donna has a question. Can we get a list of homes available? Oh, sorry. Let me scroll down. Sorry. A lot of people saying they didn't get the email. One more current question.
Okay.
Right, let's go back to,
Okay.
go ahead, Danielle.
All right. So you've sent your listing package out, you've got it back from your seller, you've uploaded it to your checklist, and now you get an accepted offer. All you have to do is go to edit, switch to pending. Is the buying side represented by Remax professionals, meaning you've got the listing and someone else in our office has the buyer? Or this is a little bit misleading, but or is it an existing company contact? I don't know why they named it that way, because it's going to be an outside company contact. So let's say it's XYZ Realty. whoops, is representing your buyer. Okay, and actually I forgot, you do need to enter it the first name. Let's say it's John Doe with XYZ Realty. Okay, you could fill in any information you want for John Doe with XYZ Realty, but in this instance, for co-broke agents, home warranties, lenders, title companies, we want to make that contact available to the company. That will start building a company database and will save you guys all time entering it in the future. If someone ever has another deal with John Doe at XYZ Realty, they can just start typing his name and all his information will already come in, like back office stores, all that. So your buyers and sellers, you want to keep private, but anybody else, it's helpful if you make it available to everybody.
Hey, before you move,
Mhm.
can you talk about the lead source and
Yeah, so we wouldn't have a lead source for a co-broke agent, but if this was your buyer or your seller, like we said, we got Brad Pitt from an open house. So you would want to choose that if it was your buyer or your seller. But you're not going to have a lead source for your co-broke agent and you don't have to assign it to anyone. So we're just going to click on create. Okay, lender, we are using Motto Mortgage and home warranty. I don't know, I'm just going to make it up. Okay, confirm. Okay. Then we want to add in the checklist. This is for your sale documents, not for the listing portion, but the documents that you need for your sale. And you are representing the seller. And in this case, it's a residential purchase. So we want to add that. Whoops. I went a little too quick, but you would want to add in the contract date and the acceptance date. Again, you've got your checklist that you would just upload your documents. In this case, you're representing the seller, so you didn't send out the purchase contract. It was sent to you by the co-broke and you just upload it. One other thing I forgot to say about your listing is every transaction has an email address that you can put in MLS. So just like in SkySlope, I don't know if you guys used that feature in SkySlope, but it gave you an email address that you could put in your MLS listing if you want the co-broke agents to be emailing you offers and stuff to that email address. And then that would come straight to your checklist. And I believe so. I believe so. So, okay, hang on. I just forgot where the email address is. So this is helpful. Hang on just a second. What I just had up is you can click on add via email. And that's if you want to send your documents just to the file. Let's say you get it in your email, you just want to forward it. This is the email that you would use. Yeah, this is the email that you would also put in your MLS. Okay. So you've got a listing, you had an accepted offer, you added your purchase contract documents. Again, same thing. If there's something on here that we don't have a placeholder for, you just go to add task. We admins will handle lead-based paint, HOA, and sewer just like we always have. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I don't need a lead-based paint or I don't need a HOA. We always check that out. Okay. Let's say you are now representing the buyer and you want to get your buyer broker agreement signed. You're going to go to create transaction again. That's always how you start a new thing. In this case, we are doing a pre-contract. Same as in SkySlope, this is for your buyer broker agreement. The status is an opportunity. You don't know for sure if you're going to be able to take this buyer out and get an accepted contract and represent them. You hope so. So it's an opportunity. And you are representing the buyer. You could name it the Jones family. You can name it however you want. Don't name it Remax Professionals. I saw a couple of transactions in SkySlope that the agent, I'm not sure why, but named it Remax Professionals. Don't do that. Name it by your prospective client's name. And then you would check on the property type that you are taking this fire out to look for. Most likely it would be residential, but not always. And then click on next. That's the only thing that you need to fill out. You probably don't know like what commission you're gonna get. You don't need to do that. You do want to add yourself. And you want to save it. Click on next.
Danielle?
Yes.
I think we do have to put our commission in there so it populates on the buyer broker agreement.
Okay. Put your commission in there so it populates on buyer broker agreement. Thank you. So if you ever, I need to change that. If you ever watch the pre-recorded videos before I get to change that, note to self, put your commission on there, it'll populate. Thanks, Nate.
I'm sure you can add it to the form later.
Yeah, but that's
Right.
awesome. Do it then. Yes. Okay. I forgot even what we called our transaction, but it doesn't. Oh, Jones, thank you. Okay, woo, John Jones. Okay, let's create new because I don't know if that's someone's real contact or not. Again, we want it private. We always want our clients private. Lead source, I picked up John Jones again from a door hanger. Does anybody do that anymore? I picked him up from open house. Create. Next. And again, red is required. If there's not red, you can just skip through it if you want. It doesn't like me hitting on the create button though. Kim, I made you stop hitting me. Doesn't like me clicking on create.
What do you guys think so far? I think this is pretty user friendly, don't you? And I'm super happy we're still going to have Breeze because I love Breeze. So
I'm glad.
we'll figure it out. But
We'll send out a
We'll send out.
video on Breeze since apparently nobody's aware of that. It's a great tool. AAR. But we'll put it right into your dashboard.
Just try putting.
Awesome.
We're frozen. Okay.
Wait for the mic.
For anyone that had trouble with the login, the email reset is case sensitive. So that was the issue before.
Okay. Thank you.
We are frozen. No, it's frozen.
Well, you would have an acceptance date right now, wouldn't you? No, that's pre-contract.
Okay. All right, now remind me what I called it. The
Family.
thank you.
I just want to also say that this is another reason to hire one of our TCs to help you with this stuff.
Well, when you're doing it in real life, it's not near this. It's just because we're through Zoom and all that. Okay, so it did not save my transaction for the Jones family, unfortunately. Okay.
Do you want to just find one that's already there so you can just pull one up? Like, I'm sure we have
Yep.
one.
Yep.
So what this does, it's going to give you 3 forms. It's going to give you the buyer broker agreement. It's going to give you the showing agreement. It's going to give you an agency agreement. That's what's going to populate there. That's what you send out for signatures. Okay. So that if you want to add other things to it, like agency
There's
or
no-
a
oh.
buyer disclosure or anything, buyer advisory, there you go. Thank you. You can add that and send that out as well. That's something that I like to do because I like to send them some disclosures ahead of time. Sarah, we got a question.
Can we upload forms if they're not in there?
Yes.
Okay, what forms? Well, an example, like, what do you mean? What do you, every form that AAR has,
Bill of sale.
a bill of sale, yeah, you would upload that. Remember, you would go into task. I didn't know this until she said it. You go into task and you create a task and you name it bill of sale. And then it'll create a folder for it, I guess, and you would just hit upload. You know, what's pretty cool, like if some of you guys don't want to get into all the uploading and things, if you just remember email for your property, you can send a whole package of all your documents in via email, right? So you get an accepted contract, you can take that package, send it to that email. It'll put it right into this contract. If you have a list, right? If you have a listing already put together, you receive an offer, you can push that offer in via email. Then you can go inside and look at it, right? And then move it around to where it needs to be. Or you can go through and upload each one individually.
Any other questions while we're
Well, we're waiting for them to figure that out. I've been looking at this software for 18 months, okay, to get to this point where we're sharing it with you. The team has spent 6 months hard. Sometimes you can't reach us because they're doing so much on this program. And there's Kim, how many hours would you think collectively has been spent to bring us to this point to be ready to present to these guys?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Hundreds of hours, right? But we didn't want to introduce it to you until we were ready. Now, in Nate's world, because I also live in a fantasy world, I wanted it done by January 1, right? So we'd have a whole full year. Then it was, okay, let's get done by the first quarter. Then now it's the second quarter, right? So there's a lot. I didn't even realize how much was really there. So,
Okay, we're back up. I have to
Good.
borrow someone's real, sorry about that, but I have to borrow someone's real opportunity. So, yeah, so you create your pre-contract. This is a checklist where you would upload your buyer broker agreement, your agency, and any other paperwork that you want. But the cool thing is when you want to send an offer, you can go down here under assets to offer. You can create your offer. You can use the search MLS feature. Most likely your property that you're writing an offer on is on MLS. If it's not, you can click create new. It's the same process that I just showed you when you were creating your listing documents, pretty much. Let's say we want to do an offer on 225 West Main Street. Okay, I don't want to go through all this. You would put in your offer price, you would select your financing, cash, conventional, whatever. You would click on next, and we have a really good, really in-depth video that our back office rep did for us as far as how to send out an offer. And what if you need to, after you've sent it, what if you need to edit it? And what if one signer signs and then you need to edit it? And there's all these different scenarios that it goes through that really would happen to you. I mean, you will experience and have experienced every single thing that they talk about. So highly, highly recommend you watch that video. Again, for the sake of time, because we're so behind, I don't want to go through all that because it's already been done and it's been done so well.
You know, Christine brought to my attention that this software lets you go back and edit stuff on the spot as opposed to having to create a whole new document. It's been a time saver, and I think it's, you know, it's a little more user friendly in that piece.
Okay. So we've done a listing. We've talked about how to upload your documents when you get an accepted offer on your listing. We've talked about how to do a pre-contract, which is your buyer broker agreement, and then watch that video on how to generate that offer and send it out to your buyers to sign, and then resend it to the co-broke agent. And then it talks about what to do when that is accepted. And then that would be the case when you represent your buyer. So we really don't even need to go over that so much because you would just follow the prompts. It's going to add your checklist already there into your transaction, and it's no longer going to be a pre-contract. It's going to be pending. So, okay. Any more questions?
Could you go up to the dashboard?
Yes.
I want to explain what the dashboard
Yes.
looks like. Okay. So when you're in your dashboard, this is the first video you're going to see. This is the 26-minute video. They're also sending you this in an email. That's when I said, you know, just kind of watch it. and fight your way through it. We'll have links here. You can see we have different trainings and stuff and links to AAR. I guess we could put Breeze on there. So it's right there. Okay. Thanks for bringing that up. But the cool part is this goal tracking, right? So when you set your goals for the year, like you can sit with us and we'll help you with your goals, and we'll punch your goals in for the year. And then you can then put values like, hey, January is going to be a hot month, you know, February is going to be busy, but it's going to maybe be slow in October, November, if that's your business. And we can rank where your goals are for that month, income and closings. And then as your closings happen simultaneously, it's going to show you how you're doing against your goal. So you won't see this enriched until we get a full year in. But once July 1st happens, your commissions will start appearing from July 1st forward. Okay. So it's a real good way to kind of see where you're at versus the goals that you set for yourself. And only you can pretty much see that, right? Nobody else in the room can. But I think it's fairly simple. It'll fill out your commission form for you. It knows your plan. It'll know your cap. It'll automatically stop charging you if you reach your cap, which everybody wants that to happen, right? Yeah. So you will know exactly, you know, and again, we're trying to figure out how it's going to be with the first 6 months. That first 6 months of income may not appear in here, right? So, but the system will be programmed in the back. So on July 1st, we put numbers into the system, and it knows that if you're on a 90-10 split and you're $3,000 from reaching your cap, it'll stop right there, right? Not, and you won't even have to think about it. Cindy in the back, get a runner. Go, Art.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So occasionally I will go in and want to print out a sample. Is there a place in forms to do that?
Yes.
Where?
We showed it. We could show it again, possibly.
So when you, let's see, when you are when you click on anything, hang on, let me show you. Use forms. Okay, when you click on any use forms button, you can add or take away any form that you want. So I don't know, let's see, you need an agency or buyer broker agreement. There we go. Okay, so when you clicked on next, it's the same thing as when you're going to send it out for signing. You do have to go through all these steps, I think. But when you get to that last step where you had the opportunity to save for later, you had the opportunity to download, you had the opportunity to print, you could just print it then. And if you wanted it blank, you know, obviously you wouldn't fill it out. You would just print it blank. You also can just go straight to the association or whatever form you're trying to get to. You can go straight to there and print it from there. You can't?
Doesn't it say sample on the form?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a sample, but
Well, here's a tip. If you want the sample forms, have them on your hard drive on your computer.
well, we have sample forms too. They are on the dashboard.
And I've got a set. If you email me, I'll be glad to set a pointer to them. They're
This form simplified, I believe, is all the sample forms, right?
yeah, those have highlights on them, but yeah, I've got a set without highlights as well.
Okay. So you can access all the forms here if you wanted to, and just print out whatever one you wanted, if that's how you want.
Link out
do
to
it.
one. Those are all links on top.
Oh, awesome. The table of contents is hot linked. Perfect. So
Yeah.
you just go through the table of contents,
Ju-
click on whatever form you
click on
want.
one. Just click on one.
Okay. Yep.
We have a question from Donna.
Mhm.
Do we need to put referrals in there? So
No, not unless you already have a transaction that you have a outgoing referral to. I think you would still just email your referral agreement to Cindy to finance. Because right now you don't put referrals in SkySlope unless you have an outgoing one tied to your transaction. Okay. I don't know how to get out of here, but I got a little thing on it over it. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
What's a calendar?
Roberta?
What's a calendar? do?
Oh, yes, let's talk about the calendar. Thank you, Nate. Okay,
Hold on, we got Andre and Roberta, with quick,
Okay.
few questions.
real quick, your
Hold on.
calendar.
Let them answer. Let's get their questions first.
Okay, let's do questions.
When will all of our files transfer over into Bold Trail?
If you're one of the first 13 people, I think they're all transferred over. Not
So, okay, so we're in process, but we're not transferring over every transaction you've ever had. It's just anything, yeah, it's just anything that would be current as of, with you June 1st. We're in process, so yeah. Oh, you're not in the test group, so July 1st. Yes. Yes. So anyway, yeah, so we're in process. It's just gonna take a while. Andre, I think was next.
Yeah, I've got Andre's question. That was corporate forms. Are they located in a special place like they are in Sky Slope?
What do you mean by corporate forms?
company forms.
Tax
Company
ID,
forms?
yeah, company form.
It's in that forms library. The first tab was company forms, and then it went to AAR and so on. Mhm.
I think you guys are just gonna have to get in and play with it.
Yeah.
You know, go
One-
in and create
One of the
some mock.
questions I have, and I'm not sure what we're doing. I know before we were letting the test group make up transactions. Okay. And some of the people that have never been on, can they make a transaction? I'm really worried about that.
Yes, so we took a little bit of a staggered approach just to try and like work out some of the kinks. And so we've got a group of 27 that we're actively going to start running transactions through Bold Trail and QuickBooks for through the month of June. If you are not in that test group and you have no idea what I'm talking about, then just disregard. The rest of everything else will be entered from July 1st forward for everyone else. And that'll be your pre-contracts as long as they're not expired. That'll be any of your listings and then any pending transactions. I will say so far for most offices, we've got all pre-contracts in and most listings, I would say,
Mm.
no,
Mm.
okay, maybe not, I
No.
ventured too far on that one. And then we've got a crew of people that are gonna be working on transferring over the actual pending transactions. So it will get done by the end of the
If
month.
you want to make a test, just make it very obvious that it's a test, please. Put test
Put
before the address.
1, 2, 3 main.
Yeah,
123 Test Street.
yeah,
Right.
just something, yeah.
Make it clear that,
'Cause we
right,
have to
we can
delete all
start,
the stuff.
I just want to make it clear that people aren't waiting till July 1st to start using this, correct? So your next transaction, go use the new product.
No.
No? No?
Can't.
Hold on. Sorry. No. So you guys are getting access now because you're here today and we want you guys to get in and get access and we wanted you to have access for, the sake of the presentation today. Okay. Please go in and test it. You have a curve ahead of half the rest of the company that are not here yet today. So please get in there, test it. We are not running any actual transactions of yours through Bold Trail at this point. If you are not in test group A, continue to put all of your open anything into Sky Slope as you normally would, and we'll take care of the rest on the admin side. Does that make
Right.
sense?
If
Yeah,
there was,
we
if
got-
there was somebody dying, like that is super techie, can we add them?
Not.
They met with us and,
They can play, but not for real.
okay.
Correct.
Right now, we have 39 closings in the system right now for this month, right? And I think it's 79 between now and July. So those are the ones that are in there already. Some of them will probably be yours, right? As soon as we feel comfortable, we were hoping to launch next week, test 2 group, but we really, really want to make sure that we're ready for the next set of group. Because one thing that happens, and really what I need you guys to do this month is watch the training videos. We don't have the bandwidth for 100 agents to call in and say, how do I put a listing in, right? We'll help you, but you got to understand the help's going to be in the videos. Danielle's recorded a whole bunch of videos. Remax has recorded a whole bunch of videos. Inside Real Estate has recorded a whole bunch of videos, all how to. The ones that Danielle have done are a little more home specific, if you will. Yeah. So we have all the stuff for you. As a live thing, July 1, right? So 100% now. Now I want you to think where we're at, right? We have 350 transactions inside SkySlope active. Understand this mountain, which is probably tens of thousands of documents, right? And we're slowly migrating those into the other systems so you don't have to. Like Christine's done all my teams. Was it hard? It was no, trust me, she doesn't like change, and she got in there and figured it out, right? She bills out at $100 an hour if anybody wants to use her as a consultant.
Yeah.
Want to talk about this real quick?
Yeah, so Nate brought up calendar. You guys all have a calendar feature. It's under your to-do list on the left-hand column. This is great. This tells you what documents are overdue and what documents are coming up due. Like for instance, on 123 West Main Street, I have a vendor due next week. So this helps you stay on top of your paperwork. Yeah.
Are those automatically put in, or is it because we put the tasks in and it just reminds us?
Nope, you don't do a thing. It's automatic to your checklist. Remember how I said every document has a due date? That's
And
based
if
on the due
you
date.
also
Has a-
use it to put a task in itself, correct?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Call the seller. Say hi. You can put that in there if you want.
Okay, all right.
Can you take us back to the dashboard and show us those company documents? It wasn't intuitive when we looked at them.
Okay, so let's see. It's not on the dashboard. I think we could probably link the company documents straight to the dashboard, can we? The company library, can we put a link to that? Okay.
It's this one, Form Simplified, that he's talking about.
No,
No.
that's where he highlighted like where you're
I
checking.
think
about
that's what he
things.
wanted to
Okay.
talk about.
No, this would be like tax ID. You know, all of those documents that in SkySlope we have to go somewhere else to get.
Gotcha.
There's a few out there.
Yeah, we can, I think we can add that.
Can you get there?
We'll
No,
put
we
it
have
up
to
there.
add it. as
Thank you.
So Art, just so you understand, when you go add, there's a whole menu of different documents at the top.
And it shows it there?
Documents, company documents, Tucson's documents, Prescott's documents, et cetera. They're all right.
That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
So that's,
Thank you.
that would be in your checklist of your transaction. Let's go to, and then if you click on anything that says use forms. Oops, let me go back one. You can add more forms and that connects you to the library, but I think we can just put a link on the dashboard too,
Thank you.
just for company specific.
Yeah, there's the library right there.
Right.
Right.
So they will
Well, for sure.
automatically fill out signatures and initials and dates and everything.
yeah.
I think we got a comment for somebody online. Can't do it? All right. There's one of our agents that's been using it. They wanted to give a raving review. Would have loved to hear that. All right. Danielle,
She is.
we can't get it. Yeah.
Okay, we have a question in the chat. They wanted me to review if you have a listing and you get an accepted contract on it. So I have to go back to find a listing. Okay. You go to edit right here. You're going to switch it to pending. And I don't want to do it because this is someone's real listing. And then, well, actually I can take it out. Okay. You would click on, if it's an outside broker, you would click on existing company contact. You would fill this in and then you would check the appropriate checklist that you need. You are representing the seller and most likely a seller residential purchase. It could be seller vacant land purchase, but that's how you would add your checklist. And that's what you would do when your listing goes pending.
Yeah, which we wouldn't do and hit, because it would start sending him emails.
Yeah, no, yeah, I didn't really want to do that, but anyway, but that's all covered in our instructions and our pre-recorded videos and all that.
So if I can give you why we're doing this, in my mind, if you're a Bold Trail user, right, or soon to be, when you enter in a buyer from an open house lead, you put it in, right, put all their information, their spouse, their dog, the kids, whatever, everything about them. And when you go to write a contract, when you pull up the buyer broker agreement, it asks you for the name. You just start typing in Joe Smith, and Joe Smith already populates because you already put all their information in before. So it's one ecosystem that will go all the way through from lead to closing, right? And then stay within your system for a follow-up as past clients, right? That's what the system is designed for. So if you kind of think about that, one thing that Remax has launched, and I'm trying to remember the acronym, and I was on a phone call with them this morning for an hour, is that they're going to gamify to try to get you guys to be more engaging in the software that is in front of us. So every time you log into Bold Trail, you're going to earn some coins, if you will. Every time you log into back office, you're going to earn some coins. Every time you log into this social media account that they built for us, every time you make a post, you're going to earn some coins. These coins can be cashed in the near future to buy your signs or not lock boxes, any type of marketing stuff that you would find on the Remax marketplace. So, it's going to be fun. You go to R4, you get some coins. You go to the luxury event in Austin coming up in October, you get some coins, right? So they're going to try to incentivize you. The more you lean in, the more free stuff you will get. The more you lean into Remax, the more commission you make, I guarantee you. Okay. The agents in our office that lean into conventions and stuff probably get more referrals because they're meeting people like kind at conferences and they become friends. Okay.
Hey, Nate.
Okay. We're going to bring Danielle on.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Speak loudly.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So,
Say hello, everybody.
this is the other Danielle. I was joining on the training and stumbling through it, and I have a new build buyer, and I kind of created my own, and it's really easy. I'm kind of a nerd for checklists, and so I love the system because I can check off things, I can add lists, I can remove them if I don't need them, like a lead-based paint disclosure. So it's it takes time to learn something new, but I love it.
Yay.
And I know you guys have put in hundreds of hours between all
Music to my ears.
Well, I just want to also point out, you guys, Bold Trail, the average user that pays for Bold Trail is like $450 a month. And on Teams, it's like 750. So the fact that we get that as a part of our Remax perks, I mean, that's amazing. And I've played around with a lot of different CRMs and coaching people with different CRMs. This one's pretty, I don't know that there's one better on the market. So I would really encourage you to at least give it a try. The leads, the boosting thing is super cool. It gives us an advantage when we go into listing appointments or open houses. You guys have all heard me tell some of my success stories with those leads, and I don't like buying leads. But definitely give it a shot, you guys.
Yeah, I'm a broken record when it comes to Bold Trail. I mean, the presentation for both sellers and buyers, I think is amazing. If you utilize it, it's just going to make you stand out better. Any questions before we wrap it up and get you guys out of here so you can go sell something? No other questions?
All right.
Thank you guys. Any more
Yeah.
screenshots that we missed? We probably had some other things that we probably didn't get to. Yeah, read your email that comes out this Friday. We'll probably have a lot of information in there for you. If you are a beta tester, if you will, and you want more hands-on, I'd be happy to help out a little bit. There's just to make sure you're getting it done, and Kim as well. I urge you guys, watch the videos. Do they have is everybody going to get the whole checklist? You know, that where it shows all the videos and all the training via email? Okay. You're going to get an email today, everybody on Zoom and everybody that's in this room, with a lot of information. People that didn't come to Zoom or come to this meeting will not get the information until a later time. So you guys have spent the time and energy. You're going to get a lot of information. Take time to watch it, read it, understand it. I guarantee you it's going to be nice. Again, if you want to continue to use Zip form and pay for DocuSign, you're welcome to, right? You can. You just got to, just like you've done before, you got to get the documents into the transaction management. It's my goal and hope that you guys adopt this as a one-stop shop for everything we do.
Just one more reminder, June calendar, please plug into the trainings. We've got so much time dedicated in June to train you guys on this, really trying to make it as seamless as possible. And let's give one more round of applause to Danielle for her help today.
Thank you, Danielle. She did. I told her she should do this as a side job now. You'd have to learn Zoom, that's all.